Thank you. And let me begin today's session with a very simple truth. Most professionals know what executive presence is. They know posture matters, they know confidence matters, they know communication matters. And yet, only a few people are experienced as leaders. Why? Because leadership presence is not about what you know, it's about what you apply consistently, especially under pressure. And today's session is called the Presence Playbook because this is not theory, this is not motivation application guide. This is how leaders behave differently, quietly, subtly, and powerfully, while everyone else is still trying to sound impressive. So if you have ever felt, I know I'm capable, but I'm not perceived that way. Others get taken seriously faster than I do. I speak, but my impact doesn't land. This session will give you a clarity. And let's begin where real leadership begins. The gap between knowledge versus presence. Here's the uncomfortable reality: information is everywhere. Leadership presence is rare. Read books, many people watch videos, but very few change their behavior in the moment it matters. That's where presence is revealed. In difficult conversation, in silence, in conflict, in uncertainty, in how you respond when challenged. Just I just want moment really it means. And how many leadership sessions have you attended where you thought, yes, this makes sense? That's because knowing. But leadership is not rewarded for knowing. Leadership is rewarded for how you show up, especially when it's uncomfortable. This masterclass is called the Presence Playbook for a reason. The playbook is not an inspiration, a playbook is what you turn to in the moment. Over the next 90 minutes, I'm not going to teach you how to sound impressive. I'm going to show you how leaders apply presence quietly, consistently. So don't just listen, notice your body, notice your breath, notice your reactions. Because presence is learned in awareness. Now let's begin. Here's another truth. The workplace is full of capable people, but leadership is experienced only in a few. Pressure reveals presence. Let's describe both are competent, both are. One becomes very defensive when questioned, the other becomes curious. One fills silence, the other allows space. One reacts, the other responds. Same knowledge, same different application. Presence is not tested when things go well. Presence is tested when you are challenged, you are interrupted, you don't know the answer, you are emotionally triggered. And this is why leaders need a playbook, not just principles. Let me ask you, where do you lose your presence most often? Is it under pressure? Is it in a conflict? Is it in your visibility? I just want everybody to notice, but no judgments. No judgments here. I just want you to consciously become aware of what it is actually. and hold on to that thought. We will come back to that thought in some time and see how it can, create a change. Now we are going to see couple of, um, situations. Yeah, we are going to just see the couple of situations which I call it as core principles or the presence playbook core principles. The first play, you might not have to respond or answer to these things, but then I just want you to literally give it a thought. Or maybe you can just close your eyes and just take take yourself through the stories which I am going to narrate for all of you here. First play is lead your state before people. Let me repeat that. Lead your state before you lead people. Now, whoever is going to listen to this, either you can close your eyes or you can just imagine what I'm just going to narrate. Leaders apply presence by managing their state first, before words, before strategy, before action. And they ask, what version of me is entering this room? Because your emotional state becomes contagious. An anxious leader creates anxious teams. A calm leader creates clarity. But the practical application here is before any important interaction, take one deep breath, drop your shoulders, set one intention. This takes 10 seconds, but those 10 seconds determine how you're perceived. Now we are going to just see another play, clarity over cleverness. People without presence try to sound intelligent. Leaders with presence aim to be understood. They don't overload conversations, they don't speak in paragraphs, they land just in one clear point. The application rule. If your message cannot be said clearly in 3 sentences, it's not clear yet. Presence is not complexity, presence is precision. Now let's see a different play, the power of pause. One of the most visible differences between leaders and non leaders is this: leaders pause. They pause before answering, they pause before they pause instead of reacting. Silence is not weakness, silence signals confidence. Next time you are asked a question, pause. That pause does three things: shows you who you are thinking, slows the room, and it also establishes authority. Here's where leaders apply their silence very intentionally. And now we are going to just look at few more, you know, few more narratives and see what changes here. Shall we do that? I'm just going to reiterate what I said in the previous session, that before people analyze your words, before they judge your competence, before even they consciously decide whether they disagree with you, they already felt something about you. Again, I'm repeating, executive presence is felt before it is understood. And second is, your presence is not about doing more, it's about doing less, but in a better way. It's not about speaking more, it's not about proving more, it's not about reacting faster. It's about doing less when done intentionally is more powerful. They pause before responding. They choose one clear message instead of five explanations. They allow silence to do the heavy lifting. And here is where you ask yourself, am I speaking to be impressive or am I speaking to create clarity? And executive presence is a skill. not a personality. It's a skill and it's a practice through either starting with your emotional regulation, your body awareness, your strategic communication, the way you give yourself the pause. Now let's understand how you can use this playbook in real time situations. Let's see. Situation number one, when you're being challenged. Non-leaders react, leaders respond. Instead of saying that it's not what I meant, a leader says, let me clarify. Tone changes, power shifts, and what is the application you can use? Replace your defensiveness with curiosity when challenged. Let's see what you can do when you're interrupted. People with presence don't compete for space. They pause. They reclaim this floor calmly. Let me finish this thought. No apology, no aggression, just calm authority. Situation number three, when you don't know. Leaders are of not afraid of saying, I don't have the answer yet, because credibility comes from honesty, not performance. How you can use it? I shall come back with clarity. That sentence builds trust. Now, what are the few daily practices which you can practice with your presence? Presence is not built in big moments, it's built in small, repeated behaviors. Let me repeat that. It is built in small with your repeated behaviors. And these are the three daily practices which you can start with. Start conversations slowly, end sentences with certainty, leave space after you speak. These are invisible habits, but their impact is visible. Any questions before I go any further? Or what is your thought about after listening to this? Anyone who would want to
Ma'am,
share or say something about it?
ma'am, any example for continuous sentence?
Come back
Certain
again.
sentence. Any example for continuous certain sentences? Can you quote some sentences?
Okay.
Example.
Uh, okay. For the last thing which I told you,
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Last.
See, for example, say, your voice is breaking in between. Is it still breaking, Sneha, for you?
Mind
Okay.
breaking.
Okay.
It was somewhat in the beginning, it was happening, Darshini. Yeah.
Oh. See, when I say, end sentences with certainty is nothing but many a times what happens, for example, a child or an individual is coming and telling you that I'm going to start my career in wildlife photography. Instantly, what is response in today's generation is, or with anyone, the response would be, why do you want to do it? Can we really make money out of it? These kinds of the questions which literally comes out of anyone who says this. Instead, you know, you can talk in such a way that you are encouraging them. Okay, you do, and we will see how things unfold, and give yourself, 6 months of time and see how things unfold. There is certainty that still he or she or that individual can give a try in the field he or she has chosen. And this is a kind of certainty which you give to that person who's listening to this, who I've come and told you about this. Getting my
Okay.
point?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
See, instead of giving something negative, give them something positive where they get that hope, okay, this will also work out. That's what I meant here.
Oh, oh, okay, okay.
So, see, today's this thing is everybody who's listening to this right now or later, maybe you might have to go back, re-listen to the same session of mine because I have spoken about different situations and what are the different practical tools or practical statements which you can use. I'm just going to repeat those situations and the application which you can use on a day-to-day basis. When you are being challenged in one situation, replace defensiveness with curiosity. When you're being interrupted, you know, you pause and you take the control over. Because calmness is the key in the situation when you are interrupted. When you don't know something, you tell the other person that I shall come back with clarity. If you've been asked something. So these are certain things which you can start doing from now on. But if I have to leave you, all of you, with something is everybody has access to information, but very few people apply it under pressure. And that is why leadership presence is rare. You don't need more knowledge, you just need a playbook. And now you have one. Apply it and practice it. And let your presence do the talking. Many a times, what we do being a leader is that communicating more. Can we shift that communicate, process where you don't have to explain yourself too much? What I'll do is I will be sharing a workbook inside our community where you can use it on a ready to use thing on an everyday basis, or if you want any tweaks or changes in your that ready to use playbook or something, you please let me know. We can work it out together. Tilagam ma'am, any questions? I think you have joined my session for the first
No,
time.
ma'am. Earlier, 1 or 2 times I attended, ma'am. Now
Oh,
I
okay.
I went and then and there only I'm getting opportunity to attend this program. I'm not continuously attending, that's why. So I got
Great,
time
great,
today,
great.
so I
Thank you
joined
so
you.
much.
That different session I attended. I forgot.
Every days, yes, I do. If you have any topic suggestions, you let me know.
Ma'am, I'm a teacher. What I can improve? I'm like how I have to what social importance, how I have to communicate to students. That 1 or 2 tips can you give me, ma'am? How
Sure. Communicating with students. One,
that is the biggest task.
yes,
I'm
go ahead.
doing. Yes, ma'am. I'm doing. I'm what are all the rules are how college rules? I'm just mentioning to them how you have to behave in college or inside timing. Those things I'm doing, and how you have to prepare yourself. Those things we are teaching. Apart from that, anything else do I need to teach them? Anything you want to as a
See, one thing is today we have a lot of options, especially with academics. We
yes,
have a
ma'am.
lot of options today, not only in school, even in colleges. In many places, we find a lot of options. But, if you ask me for a honest, true advice, I would say teach them emotional management, which will struggle to do that.
Okay, okay, yeah.
When a student comes, when a student comes to you with a problem,
Okay.
Instead of you giving your knowledge or your advice to them, ask them what is that you're looking for or what is the outcome you're searching for there. Is it just a person for you to hear you out? Or are you really, you want to come out of that situation? Solution. What is the you're looking for? Give
Okay.
them the space to think, give them the space to answer for themselves. Because maybe what worked for you, ma'am, may not work for those students there.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So give the what I'm trying to tell is you ask them that okay, what is that you want now? They might have something in their mind which they may not be aware of. But put them into that space where they come with an answer to you. Then you can say this is my suggestion or this would be my feedback or you give this a try and come back and let me know how it went.
Okay. Okay.
This is something you can give it a try.
Yeah, no, 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 ma'am. That one problem, that problem, what they are facing is their own problem. Actually, if a student facing some family problem, suppose we are taking, and what how I have to approach it. Like I have to approach it. What are all these things?
See, they might be coming to just tell you this, they want to someone to hear them out. Maybe that might be the reason.
Okay,
Major
okay, okay.
reason.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, okay.
90% there'll be no other reason. They just want someone to hear them out without no judgment.
Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Solutions to them. Okay, okay. Without any judging them. Okay.
Yeah.
So emotionally, how we had to support that we had to suggest the students more than more than a teacher.
See, I'll give you a very real time example these days. See, any emotion can handle get through after a day or two. And like grief, how many knows to handle that or navigate through that? That's a question.
Okay, okay.
See, you can think of an individual who suddenly loses his or her parent. Maybe it can be mother or father. Sorry, this is just an example. How do you deal all of a sudden to a new normalcy?
Definitely, they won't be. But we have to make them to attend the classes, and at least you sit in some during that time we'll suggest something like you just at least come to classes, give for attendance, like that we'll support them. I will instruct them like
No,
that.
I'm just saying, see, there are lot of real times. Today's generation is very lacking. They don't know how to deal with a whole lot of situations they face.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yes, yes.
I think we should start working there. Uh,
Okay,
Ma'am, maybe I would just connect with you on a one-on-one front. Maybe I can understand it a little more better and take it from there because I don't want to give vague answers.
okay, 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 ma'am, sure, I'll.
Put down my number in the chat window. Maybe you can immediately connect after the session also if you would like to.
Okay, okay, ma'am. Okay,
I put
I'll
my
do.
number on the chat window.
I noted, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh,
Yes, Neha, you've been waiting unmuted for a long time.
Thank you, Darshini.
Yes,
Hmm.
dear, tell me.
It is, all these factors are important and very minute things which really bring big differences. Maybe it is pausing or being certain about something that you want something to be done by someone, being certain about it, and that certainty is also important. What is another big drift that can bring, many a times, it is not only about us as well. Many a times when you say something, people come and manipulate you by cross questioning you, or by trying to check your knowledge through that pursuit. So what would be the right way to deal with such kind of situations? Because if even if you say, when you say it, let's just say, cite an example of Bollywood stars only, when they go for interviews and such
Mm,
kind of interview questions are being put forward to them, where
mm,
if they answer it, then also they are going to get some blame or plot. If they do not answer it, then also it's the situation of a chaos that has been given. Sometimes, while answering a question, also, or your knowledge has been, you have been put into that kind of situation. We have been answering the question is also a problem, and not answering it is also a problem. So again, we can put pause over here and think about the situation, in what context it has been asked and how we can do it. But still, what is the right way to tackle these kind of situations where the knowledge has been checked properly?
My dear, thank you for bringing up this question. And see, again, other people's perception is not in our control. Can you change other people's perception? Not exactly. Can you change them to your favor? Maybe not. But the only thing is, there is no hard or fast rule here. It is basically depends on how we, and in the given situation at that particular point of time, how do we handle it? There's no right or
Yeah.
wrong way here.
But
Maybe
how
that person
how
or
we
that
shall
individual might
display, dear? How What is the right way to display it in, like, because it is, if it is in
sometimes.
asked in the boardroom, we have
Mm,
been if it is asked in the boardroom, so we've been
mm,
again put into a challenge kind situation there, how to tackle and manage.
see, if you're put in a boardroom or in a public space where you're in a meeting with few other, guests along with you, if that is the case, depending upon what is being thrown at you, you just answer to that. And maybe you can end up saying that at the end of the meeting or after the meeting, I will come back with more clarity on this, back with more clear answer. Or you check with them, do they have the time and space for you to let them know what actually is going on? Or sometimes you just allow that, let that person talk, communicate whatever he or she wants to communicate. Maybe if you feel you just want to take a thought and then come back and answer that, then you let them know that give me some time, I'll come back to you with this, with my suggestion. If you feel you don't want to give an answer then and there,
Hmm.
it really
Mm-hmm.
changes because sometimes people are on high emotional states. You never know in what state are they in or what they're going through. So
Hmm.
maybe you can give that answer. Maybe sometimes people come back thanking later. Good that we didn't speak more about that day. That a lot of times this has happened with me. People come back and thank me that good that you stopped that conversation then and there back then, not continuing. And that gives them also the space and you also the space to analyze, to understand and do whatever is required.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. So a, a break moment is important in critical
Yes,
situations, you
anytime,
believe?
anytime. See, otherwise, if you instantly talk, then there are high chances of you damaging the whole relationship. High chance.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's basically the answer is very simple. Do you want to react and spoil the relationship, or do you want to pause and give it as a response?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the difference here.
Hmm.
But again, it's up to us. How do you want to, or if you feel it's none of your this thing, none of your boundaries, but you set your boundaries right and let the person know. Maybe I'm not the expert to give you a feedback or a suggestion on this particular situation. Maybe you need to connect with someone else. If you know someone else, connect that person to them, or ask them to go ask someone who has more experience with this particular kind of a situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Simple.
Okay.
But set your boundaries right so that you don't get affected or you don't get manipulated.
Yes, because having I mean, a gap is different, and guarding your self is different, and having a boundary is different.
True.
Because sometimes when we get a trauma or something, or we have a past memory, we always try and guard ourselves from that kind of situation instead of putting a boundary. So,
Sometimes they don't come there for help or they don't come to you for help. Maybe they just want to be heard. So
mm-hmm,
many a times you should put back this question asking, are you looking for a feedback, suggestion, or a solution? Or you're just trying to vent out what is there, what was there in your mind? Maybe have that clarification before you jump in
mm-hmm,
and give your feedback, your suggestion, or your response there.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Maybe it's not a problem. It's just that
mm.
something triggered them and they are venting out in a different way, which the actual scenario is different. Might be that. You never know.
Yeah, it's good to ask always. Yes, it's
Uh,
good to ask.
it's okay. What let them feel whatever they want to feel. But this is also a need there to be. We need to ask this. That are you looking for a feedback or a suggestion or a clarity, or just you just want to vent out where you don't need us to. You don't want me to speak out anything, adding to what you have said.
Mm, mm. Good, good. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So thank you everyone. Over to you, Shabana ma'am.
Thank you, Darshini. I think we have Rajvin as well. Rajvin, do you want to share?
Yeah.
Very good, very good session. So, we still have memories of Prem. Last Monday was our last session together. And so, yeah, when we said the problem is with me, if I said no, people would say question why I said no, because I'm tired of pleasing people. Just I need time to heal, and the power of what you mentioned in the presentation was so apt, and I I love every single trainer over here, including myself. We find the courage, we find the we find time to to speak wisdom, like today's topic was about pause, right? The power of I can
Not
I can
power boss, it's a leadership playbook kind of a session.
yeah, so label so people often we said take the label kind of attitude, but people often take the label kind of attitude for granted. Label kind of attitude means you work so hard, and you want people to respect your boundaries when you're healing. People don't understand. And so I have to, when you're in that kind of situation, identify stresses, move away, and plan for plan A, plan B, plan C. So, and then everything will be fine. As long as people do not make make use of us. Yeah.
So,
So because if people make use of us, chances are we're going to break down. Yeah.
thank you.
And Prem always says that they kind of, they kind of wisdom. Wisdom is his soul is still here speaking with us, but his memories will never fade away. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shabana. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Darshini. Thank you, Rajvin. Thank you, everyone, Sneha and Tilakamji. And see you all again tomorrow.